Hello, future medical professionals. Welcome to Synapse, your ultimate NEET preparation platform. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of biology, specifically Class 11, Chapter Biological Classification. Our topic for today is Kingdom Fungi. We'll embark on a journey through 4 levels of understanding: easy, medium, hard, and hardest to ensure you grasp every concept thoroughly. Get ready to uncover the secrets of these incredible organisms. Let's begin our exploration with the basics of Kingdom Fungi, understanding what makes these organisms so unique and vital. Fungi are a truly unique kingdom of eukaryotic organisms, distinct from both plants and animals. Their defining characteristic is that they are heterotrophic, meaning they cannot produce their own food. Instead, most fungi absorb nutrients from their surroundings, often by releasing digestive enzymes externally. Structurally, they range from simple unicellular forms, like the common yeast, to complex multicellular organisms, such as the mushrooms we see. A key identifier is their cell wall, which is primarily composed of chitin, a tough, nitrogen-containing polysaccharide, unlike the cellulose found in plant cell walls. You can find fungi almost everywhere, thriving in soil, floating in the air, living in water, and even growing on or inside plants and animals, showcasing their incredible adaptability. So, how do these diverse organisms sustain themselves? Many fungi are saprophytes, playing an absolutely crucial role in ecosystems by feeding on dead and decaying organic matter. This makes them nature's primary recyclers, breaking down complex substances and returning vital nutrients to the soil. Other fungi are parasites, living on or inside other organisms and often causing diseases in their hosts, whether they are plants, animals, or even humans. Then there are the symbionts, forming mutually beneficial relationships with other organisms, like the fungi in lichens or mycorrhizae. When it comes to reproduction, fungi predominantly rely on spores, tiny, lightweight reproductive units that can be dispersed widely by wind or water, allowing them to colonize new environments effectively. Think of familiar examples like the mushrooms you might eat, the molds that grow on stale bread, or the yeast used to make your favorite bread rise. All are members of this incredible kingdom. Now that we've covered the fundamental aspects of Kingdom Fungi, let's test your understanding with a few practice questions. Take a moment to read each question carefully and choose the best answer. These questions will help solidify your grasp of the basic characteristics and ecological roles of fungi. Good luck! Ready to go a bit deeper? In this section, we'll unravel the structural complexities of fungi and explore their fascinating nutritional and reproductive strategies. The body of a multicellular fungus, known as a thallus, is quite unique. It's typically composed of numerous long, slender, thread-like structures called hyphae. These hyphae interweave and branch extensively to form a dense network called the mycelium, which is essentially the main vegetative body of the fungus. This mycelium can be vast, often growing unseen beneath the surface. Hyphae come into main types: septate hyphae, which have cross walls called septa dividing them into cell-like compartments, and aseptate or cenocytic hyphae, which lack these cross walls, resulting in a continuous, multinucleated cytoplasm. Providing structural integrity, the fungal cell wall is composed primarily of chitin, a robust polysaccharide, along with other polysaccharides, making it a distinctive feature of this kingdom. Fungi are master absorptive heterotrophs. Instead of ingesting food, they release powerful digestive enzymes into their environment. These enzymes break down complex organic matter externally, and then the fungi absorb the simpler, digested nutrients. Their nutritional modes reflect this. Many are saprophytic, feeding on dead organic matter, while others are parasitic, deriving nutrients from living hosts and often causing diseases. Some fungi engage in symbiotic relationships, like lichens and mycorrhizae, where both partners benefit. Fungi reproduce both asexually and sexually. Asexual methods include fragmentation, budding, as seen in yeast, and various types of spore formation, such as conidia and sporangiospores. Sexual reproduction is a more complex process involving the fusion of two compatible haploid hyphae, leading to nuclear fusion and eventually meiosis to produce new spores. The kingdom fungi is broadly categorized into four main classes, primarily based on their mycelial structure, spore formation, and fruiting bodies. First, Phycomycetes often called algal fungi, have aseptate, cenocytic hyphae and are typically found in aquatic environments or on decaying wood. Examples include *mucor* and *rhizopus star. Next, Ascomycetes or sac fungi possess septate hyphae and produce their sexual spores, called ascospores, inside sac-like structures called asci. This group includes important fungi like Aspergillus penicillium and yeast. Then we have Basidiomycetes the club fungi, characterized by septate hyphae and the production of sexual basidiospores on club-shaped basidia, as seen in mushrooms, puffballs, and rusts. Finally, Deuteromycetes or imperfect fungi are a unique group where only the asexual or vegetative phases are known. They have septate hyphae, and many are important decomposers or parasites. Examples include Alternaria and Trichoderma star. This classification helps us understand the vast diversity within this kingdom. Now that we've explored the structural details, nutritional modes, and major classes of fungi, it's time to check your comprehension. Answer these 5 practice questions to reinforce your learning. Focus on distinguishing features and key examples for each class. Take your time, think critically, and select the best answer for each. Let's see how well you've absorbed the medium-level concepts. Are you ready to delve into the more intricate details of fungal life? This section will challenge your understanding with deeper insights into classification, life cycles, and their vast impact. Delving deeper into fungal classification reveals key distinctions. Phycomycetes, encompassing zygomycetes like *rhizopus* and *mucor*, are characterized by their aseptate, cenocytic hyphae and the formation of zygospores through gametangial copulation. Oomocetes, such as *albugo* and *Phytophthora*, though historically grouped here, are now often considered protists due to their cellulose cell walls and biflagellate zoospores. Ascomycetes, the sac fungi, boast septate and branched hyphae, reproducing asexually via conidia and sexually with ascospores produced endogenously within asci, often housed in elaborate ascocarps. Think of Neurospora*, Saccharomyces*, and *Penicillium star. Basidiomycetes, or club fungi, also feature septate hyphae, frequently with clamp connections, and reproduce sexually by exogenously produced basidiospores on club-shaped basidia, which are typically found in basidiocarps like mushrooms. Agaricus*, Ustiligo*, and Puccinia*, are classic examples. Lastly, Deuteromycetes, the fungi imperfecti, are known only for their asexual or vegetative phases, forming conidia on septate hyphae. Many are decomposers or parasites, like Alternaria*, and Trichoderma*, and their sexual stages, if discovered, would reclassify them into Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes. The primary basis for differentiating these groups lies in their mycelial morphology, mode of spore formation, and the structure of their fruiting bodies, reflecting their evolutionary relationships. Fungal life cycles, though varied, share fundamental stages: plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. Plasmogamy involves the fusion of protoplasts from two compatible hyphae or gametes. What's unique to Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes is the **decaryophase***, an intervening N+N stage where two haploid nuclei from different parents coexist within the same cell before fusing. This dikaryotic stage can be prolonged, sometimes spanning the entire fruiting body, and is critical for maintaining genetic variability and delaying nuclear fusion, offering significant evolutionary advantages. Following plasmogamy, eventually, karyogamy occurs, where the two haploid nuclei finally fuse to form a diploid zygote, 2N. This diploid stage is typically very brief. Immediately after karyogamy, meiosis takes place, reducing the chromosome number back to haploid, N, and producing genetically diverse haploid spores. These spores then germinate to form new haploid mycelia, completing the cycle. Understanding the decaryophase is key to appreciating the reproductive complexity of higher fungi. Fungi's ecological and economic importance is immense. Ecologically, they are the planet's primary decomposers, breaking down dead organic matter and recycling vital nutrients, making life possible for other organisms. Beyond decomposition, they form crucial symbiotic relationships. Mycorrhizae are mutualistic associations between fungi and plant roots, where the fungi enhance the plant's absorption of water and nutrients, especially phosphorus, in exchange for carbohydrates. Lichens are another remarkable symbiosis, a partnership between a fungus, Mycobionte, and an alga or cyanobacterium, Phycobionte. Lichens are pioneer species in harsh environments and excellent bioindicators of air pollution due to their sensitivity to atmospheric contaminants. Economically, fungi are a source of food, like edible mushrooms, truffles, and morels. Yeast is indispensable for bread making and alcohol fermentation. Crucially, fungi are producers of life-saving medicines, such as penicillin from *Penicillium*, and the immunosuppressant cyclosporin A from *Trichoderma star. However, fungi also have a detrimental side, causing numerous plant diseases like rusts and smuts, and human diseases, known as mycosis, such as ringworm and athlete's foot, along with significant food spoilage. Their dual nature makes them both beneficial and challenging members of our biosphere. We've now covered the detailed classification, life cycles, and the ecological and economic significance of fungi. It's time to consolidate your knowledge with 7 challenging practice questions. These questions are designed to test your analytical skills and understanding of the nuanced aspects of kingdom fungi. Read each question carefully, consider all options, and choose the most accurate answer. This will help you prepare for the competitive level of NEET examinations. Let's tackle them. Alright, future scientists, prepare to push your limits. This, hardest, level is where we dive into the molecular, biotechnological, and competitive depth of kingdom fungi. Let's uncover the most advanced concepts. The fungal cell wall is an engineering marvel, primarily composed of chitin, a robust polymer of N-acetylglucosamine, along with various glucans and manoproteins. This intricate composition provides both structural rigidity and protection. A crucial distinction lies in the fungal plasma membrane, which contains ergosterol instead of cholesterol, making it a unique and effective target for many antifungal drugs. The growth of hyphae is predominantly apical, meaning it occurs at the tip. This highly directed growth is orchestrated by the Spitzenkorper, a dynamic, vesicle-rich structure at the hyphal tip that directs cell wall synthesis and expansion. In higher fungi, septa, or cross walls, divide the hyphae. These septa are not completely solid, they contain pores. Ascomycetes have simple septal pores, while Basidiomycetes exhibit more complex doliporous septa, often surrounded by parentheses. These pores facilitate cytoplasmic streaming, allowing rapid transport of nutrients and organelles throughout the extensive mycelial network, which is essential for efficient resource acquisition and fungal colonization. Fungi exhibit incredibly diverse and sophisticated reproductive strategies, encompassing both asexual and sexual cycles with many variations. For instance, fungi can be homothallic, meaning they are self-fertile and can complete their sexual cycle with a single thallus, or heterothallic, requiring two genetically compatible mating types for sexual reproduction. Beyond traditional sexual cycles, some fungi employ parasexuality a unique genetic recombination process observed particularly in imperfect fungi or deuteromycetes, where a true sexual cycle is unknown. This involves hyphal fusion, the formation of a heterokaryotic mycelium with genetically different nuclei, followed by nuclear fusion to create a diploid nucleus. Crucially, mitotic crossing over then occurs within this diploid nucleus, leading to genetic recombination, which is then followed by haploidization, producing recombinant haploid nuclei. This process allows for genetic variability without the strict meiotic sexual cycle. Furthermore, fungal spores themselves are incredibly diverse, adapted for various dispersal mechanisms, ranging from motile zoospores and non-motile aplanospores to exogenously produced conidia and endogenously formed sporangiosspores, as well as the specialized sexual spores like zygospores, ascospores, basidiospores, and oospores. Fungi form some of the most intricate and ecologically vital symbiotic relationships. Mycorrhizae a mutualistic partnership between fungi and plant roots, is paramount for plant survival and nutrient cycling. There are two primary types, ectomycorrhizae, ECM, where the fungi form a dense sheath, called a mantle, around the root tip and an intercellular network, the Hartig net, within the root cortex. This type is common in temperate forest trees. In contrast, endomycorrhizae particularly arbuscular mycorrhizae, AMF worm, involve fungi penetrating the cortical cells, forming tree-like arbuscules for efficient nutrient exchange and vesicles for storage. These are found in about 80% of all plant species. In both cases, fungi enhance the plant's uptake of crucial nutrients like phosphorus, nitrogen, and water, receiving carbohydrates in return. Mycorrhizae are indispensable for terrestrial plant colonization and ecosystem health. Another remarkable symbiosis is seen in lichens a partnership between a fungus, typically an ascomycete, the mycobiont, and an alga or cyanobacterium, the photobiont. The mycobiont provides structure, protection from desiccation, and absorbs water and minerals, while the photobiont performs photosynthesis, supplying carbohydrates. Lichens are crucial pioneer species in harsh environments and are highly sensitive bioindicators of air pollution, especially sulfur dioxide, as they absorb nutrients directly from the atmosphere and lack protective cuticles. The impact of fungi extends profoundly into biotechnology and pathogen control. In industrial fermentation, Saccharomyces cerevisiae or brewer's yeast, is indispensable for alcohol production and baking, while Aspergillus niger is a key producer of citric acid. Fungi are also a treasure trove for pharmaceuticals. Penicillium chrysogenum gave us penicillin, the first antibiotic, revolutionizing medicine. Another fungal derivative, Cyclosporin A, from Tolypocladium inflatum is a vital immunosuppressant used in organ transplants. Fungi are also sources of various industrial enzymes, including amylases, proteases, and cellulases, used in diverse industries. In environmental remediation, certain fungi are harnessed for bioremediation capable of degrading pollutants like hydrocarbons, pesticides, and heavy metals. However, not all fungal interactions are beneficial. Some fungi produce potent mycotoxins such as aflatoxins from Aspergillus flavus which are highly toxic and carcinogenic, posing significant food safety and health challenges. To combat fungal infections, antifungal strategies often target fungal-specific features. Azoles and polyenes target ergosterol in the cell membrane, while echinocandins inhibit glucan synthesis in the cell wall. Flucytosine interferes with nucleic acid synthesis. For plant diseases, control methods include fungicides, developing resistant crop varieties, and employing biological control agents like Trichoderma species. You've journeyed through the most challenging aspects of kingdom fungi. Now, it's time to consolidate that advanced knowledge. Here are the first 5 out of 10 practice questions designed to test your understanding of fungal ultrastructure, complex reproductive strategies, and intricate symbiotic relationships. These questions reflect the depth and specific details required for competitive exams like NEET. Read each question carefully, analyze the options, and select the best answer. This is your chance to demonstrate your mastery of the subject. Let's continue to challenge your expertise with the remaining 5 questions on kingdom fungi. These questions will cover topics such as biotechnological applications, mycotoxins, and advanced antifungal strategies. Your ability to apply detailed knowledge and differentiate between closely related concepts will be crucial here. Take your time to review each question and its options thoroughly. Success in these questions indicates a strong grasp of the hardest level content, preparing you effectively for any complex problem you might encounter in your NEET exam. Keep up the excellent work. And that concludes our in-depth exploration of kingdom fungi. From the basics to the most advanced concepts, we've covered everything you need for your NEET preparation. Remember, consistent practice and a clear understanding of concepts are key to success. For more such comprehensive educational content, practice questions, and expert guidance, visit our website synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and new lessons. Your journey to cracking NEET begins here with Synapse. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep aiming for excellence. See you in the next session.